Take the ring you were promised would last forever back to a counter and watch what happens to the price. It drops by more than half. Not because the diamond changed, because the price was never about the diamond. Somewhere, an ad agency that sold you the word forever is not even a little surprised. Gem-quality diamonds are genuinely uncommon, but nowhere near uncommon enough to explain that price. The diamond in that ring was never as rare as you were told, and one company spent most of a century making sure you never noticed. For most of the 20th century, that company bought diamonds not to sell them, but to lock them away, on purpose, to keep everyone else's diamonds looking scarce. This is the story of the cartel that manufactured a shortage and the four-word advertisement that convinced the world to buy it. Forever. It starts in 1871 at a hole in the ground in South Africa the miners called the Big Hole, and a British prospector named Cecil Rhodes who wanted to own all of it. By 1888, Rhodes had bought out his rivals, taken Rothschild financing, and founded De Beers. By the time he died in 1902, it controlled roughly 90% of the world's diamonds. Therefore, when Ernest Oppenheimer took the chairmanship in 1929, he wasn't building a mining company. He was building a machine for controlling how much of something the entire world was allowed to want. Approved dealers got a sealed box at a fixed price. Take it or leave the diamond trade entirely. Nobody left it. Any producer who sold outside the system faced the same threat. De Beers would flood the market from its own vault and crash the price of every diamond they owned. And yet, in 1938, De Beers had a supply monopoly and almost no demand. Barely 1 in 10 American brides received a diamond ring at all. So De Beers hired an advertising agency, N.W. Ayer, not to sell the De Beers name, but to sell the whole country on wanting a diamond at all. By 1941, only 3 years in, diamond sales were already up 55%. Then, in 1947, a copywriter named Francis Garrity, up late and out of time, wrote 4 words for the next morning's pitch. A diamond is forever. By 1951, jewelers were telling the agency in writing that a girl wasn't considered engaged without one. By 1990, the number had gone from 1 bride in 10 to roughly 8 in 10. A custom that felt ancient was younger than the television, and it had a receipt. But a want that big needs protecting from its own customers, so the same campaign quietly discouraged you from ever reselling the ring, framed it as a betrayal of the marriage, not a transaction. Which is exactly why that ring at the counter dropped by more than half. There was never a real resale market to catch it. The campaign made sure of that, too. Therefore, the cartel that built an empire on control eventually met a country that regulates it. In 2004, De Beers pleaded guilty to price fixing in an American court and paid a $10 million fine just to be allowed back into that market. In 2008, it paid $295 million more to settle with the customers it had spent decades managing. Its grip on the world's diamonds went from up to 90% to about a quarter. Then came a diamond it couldn't stockpile, grown in a lab, chemically identical, and eventually a fraction of the price. De Beers even launched its own lab-grown brand, then quietly shut it down when it worked too well. The company that sold the world forever is, this year, itself being sold for about $1 billion. Forever, it turns out, had a buyer. Next time, the keyboard in front of you right now was arranged on purpose to be difficult to use.